Hello everyone, welcome to my podcast. This is episode 28. I am Jessica Delmar. I assist in strengthening your knowledge of who you truly are as a powerful creator being during these powerfully shifting times. For those of you listening on any of the podcast platforms, you may notice that my podcast name has changed. It is now the Oneness Podcast with Jessica Delmar, and I felt called strongly to change the name because name is a vibration, everything is vibration, and when I feel called strongly to do something, I flow with that energy, so I felt called to change the name, something more in alignment with me and my soul mission and the messages that I put out on my podcast. It's the same podcast, it's just a different name. So thank you for moving and shifting with me. In this episode, we are talking all about September energy and what's going on this month. The powerful, energetic message that wanted to come through for this month, something that you can focus on because it is a powerful one. It is a strong, strong one. We are in a strong, shifting month, a pivotal month, if you will, because we're literally pivoting from past into future. Future being this new doorway, this new ascension phase that we're stepping into. We spoke more about this doorway that is opened and that has opened back in our August new moon energy episode. So I'll put a link to that episode below if you haven't listened to that. The new moon of August following the Lionsgate portal of August very much opened us into this new phase of our ascension. And September is very much about solidifying it, almost solidifying our stepping into this new phase by taking a look at our past, identifying certain themes of our life in order to move forward. I'm going to be posting over on my blog this 2020 hindsight practice, this energy practice that you can do this month, which will help you to look back and identify certain themes of your life. We all kind of came into this experience to learn specific things for our greater soul to expand. And so we experience those lessons through these themes in life. And now is the time to really look back and identify what those themes are. This September energy message may hit some of you in very deep places where you may find a little bit of resistance to. For others, you will be open to this message. It all depends upon where you are in alignment with this message. And so we ask that you receive this message with an open heart, surrender into it, allow for it to activate and integrate within you as it needs to on a greater soul level, on that cellular level, in order to receive all of those shifts and changes that this month's energy has to offer you. But I'll be posting this 2020 hindsight practice over on the blog, which will really help you to shift from, this great message that's coming through in September is about shifting from victimhood into inner empowerment. So in this practice, we're going to look at the themes of your life, and wherever you are in your perspective, whether you're looking at your themes of your life from a victim mentality or from an empowered mentality, you will shift those themes wherever you are into empowered themes. So it'll help you to move forward into this next phase of your ascension, integrating more of that inner empowerment, strengthening that inner empowerment within you, therefore opening and continuing to open more and more expansion for you. And you will know exactly when and where those expansion points are for you when you encounter them moving forward. And we are probably going to dive into this practice over in our soul group membership site. So if you want to join us, we're going to talk all about this month and integrating more of that inner empowerment and inner truth within. So I'm going to read what came through for this September collective energy message. For many years, human design, when it came to controlling humans, was through the energy of victimhood. Much of your core shadow and healing processes as a collective is about opening your inner empowerment to see through your suffering. Your current civilization's human design is meant to harbor great suffering and perpetuate the victim. We know this is not easy to hear, but when you perpetuate the energy of victimhood, you perpetuate the energy of helplessness and powerlessness. We have reached a turning point in your collective human design, where many people have already broken through the hopelessness within that feeds the inner victim. The inner victim is like a serpent in a cave. It demands to be fed in order to perpetuate a sense of self. However, the sense of self that you are feeding when you feed your inner victim is a lower dimensional and lower vibrational sense of self. Many people in the collective have already realized this and are beginning to shift the gears of which sense of self they are feeding within. The falling masculine energy on the planet comes with the fall of the cabal and the fall of especially women holding such strong inner victim mentality. Men who also fall prey to the inner victim are also finding divine strength in the rising feminine. The masculine energy falling is not only lower dimensional masculine energy, but all forms of masculine energy as separate from the feminine, meaning masculine energy is not necessarily falling, but being embraced by the feminine. What this does to masculine energy is it restores divine order. It opens harmony in the electromagnetic field and steps up as a heart-centered masculine energy. 3D masculine energy is rash, impulsive, power, struggle, and abrasive. And when the rising feminine embraces the falling masculine, the masculine energy shifts as its inner child is finally set free. Masculine energy softens, and stillness can be found in the turmoil. Masculine energy embraces a flow rather than a struggle. It is the angry child desiring to be held and nurtured. And when this happens, masculine energy is restored to its natural state of order and balance. Masculine is divine order. Feminine is divine creativity. Masculine is divine ego without attachment. Feminine is divine intuition. Masculine is divine knowledge. Feminine is divine nurturing. Feminine rising is the divine mother embracing all, and the masculine being embraced by the divine mother are the children who got away, who strayed and stayed too far away. This feminine energy rising looks like what you may consider false narratives. So in doing this reading and bringing through this message, I was pulling cards, and at this moment, the Emperor card came through along with the Expression card. And as soon as the Emperor card came through, the President of the United States came through. And I just want you to embrace and open yourself up to receiving this message however you're meant to. If you don't agree with it, that's fine. If you do, keep an open heart. So the Emperor card came through along with the Expression card. And what came through is that you must trust in the greater unfolding of everything. Everything surfacing on your planet is being met with the embrace of divine feminine, and this embrace must happen. It is the cool ocean waters embracing the hot, fiery lava as it flows into the ocean. It is not an easy embrace, but it always gives birth to new land. Those in your collective who offer the biggest triggers for people are the ones assisting in bridging the fiery lava and the cool water in order for new creation to be birthed. You do not have to agree with your president or agree with these outspoken individuals, but you must allow for the greater unfolding taking place. Many cannot see or sense light in darkness, but we are here to tell you that it is there. Hating someone for expressing themselves in any form is not embracing with love, but it's feeding the inner victim of not only the individual self, but the collective self. When you treat others with intolerance or hate, you are feeding the victimhood of your collective sense of self. Politics are a big topic on your world stage. We do not necessarily get into politics because it's a surface level manifestation of your collective energy. And we'd much rather work in the energetic plane and allow for the understanding on the energetic plane that then shifts all of these physical manifestations. But politics is simply a dialect of your collective inner voice. Politics is a powerful look into your collective mind. In suffering is pain, and in pain is suffering. Your collective suffering is due to the pain of losses and wins, meaning there is a powerful division in your collective mind that rewards winning and victimizes losing. The division of winning and losing is what drives your current civilization's duality-based human design. And the shift towards neutral balance is about both sides coming together in a powerful way that drives the collective body together with the same force of energy. Your collective is currently hashing out the duality tug-of-war of winning and losing, power and victimhood. And when that energy rises to smoke, you will see that all that duality was inflicted upon your collective in order to hide the gem of enlightenment as a species. And when the smoke clears, you will open a collective perspective of balanced clarity in New Earth 5D. September is a powerful month for reflecting back because you have reached a new turning point moving forward. However, many attachments that prevent many people from fully moving forward are the old attachments to the inner victim. The inner victim is a seemingly difficult attachment to rid yourself of because you do not only feed the inner victim, but the inner victim feeds you as well. It feeds your sense of self, and it feeds your emotions and perspectives of the world around you. And so, when you shift that inner victim into inner empowerment, what does it do? It shifts your entire sense of self, and it shifts your entire sense of your connection to your emotions, and it shifts your entire perspective of the world around you. And that shift is a massive shift that not everyone is flexible enough to make. But this turning point that is this month of September offers a powerful turning point from inner victim into inner empowerment. So, what can you do to shift? There are 3 things that came through. Number 1, when you find yourself feeding the inner victim, you will find yourself depleting your energy. So, you must stagnate the inner victim energy by filling your energy in other ways that strengthen your sense of self, not connected to the inner victim. For example, if you feel that you are a victim of inequality, you must shift your mindset from being a victim of inequality to being a strong individual not attached to either equality or inequality. Meaning that whether there is equality or inequality in the world around you, it does not affect or attach to the way that you connect with your sense of self. This is really important. Your sense of self should come from, and only from, your connection to your greater soul. And how you connect with your greater soul is directly connected to how you nourish your heart and your energy. If you deplete your heart or your energy, you are depleting your connection to your greater soul. So, shift your mentality when it comes to your connection to your sense of self by feeding your energy with things that do not connect to how you connect to the inner victim. It can be things that nourish you in that greater heart level, the greater soul level, the greater energetic level, such as going out and doing things that you love, that you truly love, that you are passionate about, that inspire you. None of that is connected to the inner victim. It's all connected to your joy, your passion, your creativity, your inspiration. Following those high vibrational callings is what allows you to connect more deeply to your soul calling. Number 2, when you find yourself accusing or arguing against others, you are simply protecting your inner victim. We do not want to disempower the inner victim with our words. That is not the point of this message. But those who identify with their inner victim and perpetuate the notions of the inner victim will encounter rude awakenings in the coming years in order to awaken you into your inner empowerment. The energy birthing upon your planet is not one that feeds the inner victim, but one that feeds inner empowerment that will open a space for the inner victim to transmute into loving kindness, forgiveness, and compassion. The perpetuation of victimhood only perpetuates division. Until the victim acknowledges inner empowerment, will those who create victims transform into those who empower others. Your experiences are valid, but validation is not about desiring others to pay for your victimhood. Your desires for right and wrong is due to the inner victim desiring to be fed. But in the releasing attachment to the inner victim, you will find the truth behind the inner victim is a strength that desires nourishment. When you find yourself in competition or arguing or accusing others, find inner empowerment not by wanting to be right, but by wanting to unite. And number 3, in terms of what you can do to shift from victim into inner empowerment, is that those harboring the inner victim are those who fall bondage to the dark. But those who allow the washing away of sin, not only from the self, but from others, are those who open freedom to the light. Do not allow bondage to keep you trapped in your mind of illusion, but open surrender to how you give and receive energy. This means softening your heart to even those that you oppose. This means softening your heart to even those who placed you in bondage in the first place. This means softening your heart to those who are unjust and cause division. This means softening your heart to all, no matter whether they are good or bad. It is not your pain or suffering to carry, but all sins and suffering have already been washed away. The sins and suffering that is perpetuated by your collective are only illusion and serves no one. All is righteous in the eyes of Source, even if you may not be able to see it from your point of view. Surrender and see with the eyes of Source, and you will see that all is truly well. And that is the message that came through for September and the collective energy. Again, I'll post over on my blog this 2020 hindsight practice that you can do this month to help you shift and pivot from past into future, utilizing these main themes of your life. Thank you so much for being here and for all of your support. This podcast, now the Oneness Podcast, can be found on all podcast platforms. Listen and subscribe on Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and YouTube. Thank you again for being here. I'll see you in the next episode, and remember that all is truly well. Oneness, love, and peace be with you.